Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie. This is my Crafty Dan, and I decided I wanted to play with a little bit of mixed media today, and I absolutely loved doing the postcards. Just over a week ago, I did 3 postcards. I'm ready to move on to fall. The hot weather has broken here. It has cooled down. It's been sweater weather kind of the last couple of days, or for the most part of the day anyway. I mean, it warms up a little bit in the afternoon, but for me, it's been sweater weather. And I thought I'd move from summer on to fall and maybe do, I've got 4 cards out, but I don't think I'll do 4. So I have this napkin that has this, I love this napkin for a background for fall. I have a couple of these and I've used them for a few different projects. I think I've even put this around flower pots to give them a more rustic look. I just love this print. So I think I am going to use this napkin for my cards. Let's try to do 3. I've also got my autumn stories and backgrounds. I have other little bits and bobs in my stash that I can dig out if I need them. Let's see what happens. Let's start off by taking the backing off of this. Remember, when you're working with a napkin, you only need the top sheet. I am going to put this on with Mod Podge. These are just some cheap stamps that I got from Temu, and they're great for this type of thing. So I do always use my archival ink, though, from Ranger when I'm doing this. And the reason for that is because it doesn't bleed when I do my next step. So I'm going to put some stamp on here. And a little bit down in here as well. That's great, right? Let's get that off of there because it does stain my desk. It's hard to get it off if I leave it. And let's do the same thing on all 3 cards again, just not in the same place. There. Do I need a little more on this one? I'm not going to put any more ink on. I might just do a little something faint in the background. There. So lots of nice inking on my cards. I've been thinking maybe something that's not like this. Ooh, she is really cute, though. Will she fit on here? Not quite. She's a little big for a postcard. What about something like this? I absolutely love this bird. I love this one as well, and they both fit on here. So can I do a bird theme? This little sparrow fits on here too. Although I really do like the ones that are kind of dressed for Oh, maybe I can just put something on him. So maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, so I've got my 3 carts. I've got 3 birds cut out. I've got just a few extra leaves cut out here. And I want to put the birds on here. But when I put my birds on here, they do what birds do in a woodland setting. They disappear. So I want to put another layer on here that's going to brighten up. I don't know what it's going to do, to tell you the truth. So my idea is I'm going to use a little bit of this modeling paste. I'm going to grab a spatula. I'm going to put some of this modeling paste down here. And I'm going to mix in some of this white metallic acrylic paint. This is from the Color Factory. So I'm going to add a little bit of white, just a little bit of white acrylic paint in here. It's probably way, way too much. And I'm going to mix it in with this modeling paste. For one thing, the modeling paste is almost too thick anymore to use. It's really old. I don't use it all that often. See, I thought that would be a lot runnier. I put too much modeling paste on here. I think maybe what I'll do is I'm going to take half of this and move it to the other end of my paper because I don't need that much. And then I'm going to mix a little more of the white in with this. So you could do a DIY modeling paste. Just take your paint and add a little wee bit of plaster of Paris or even some baby powder into it to thicken it up, because all I want is a bit of a thick coat here. So I'm not going to put a ton of this on here. I'm going to put this on here just like that, just a smear there. I'm going to work away on these 3. So just a thin, smooth coat. I can still see through it. And I'm hoping it doesn't dry too opaque because I do want to be able to see my background through my paint. I want to add a little bit of spun gold, and I want to add a little bit of bronze as well. So let's just add a little bit of bronze. I'm going to pick up a little more of this paste and move it over here. And I'm just going to add it with the white paint in there. What the heck? I'm just playing and having fun with this. So oh, it gives it that kind of an orangey look, this bronze. And what a perfect color for fall. There. Wow, I love what that's doing to this background. I absolutely love it. So there, I'm going to wipe that color off my spatula, and I'm going to move around to here, and I'm going to add some gold to this as well, because there's kind of gold already in the birch trees. So quite a bit of gold in here. There was quite a bit of paste in there. So this mixed with the paste and the white is giving me kind of a tan color with a little bit of gold in it. Wow. I think I like that. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. It's just, I'm just trying to add depth and layers to my background. What do you think? Is this accomplishing it? I've done this type of thing before, not exactly like this. I probably never do two things exactly the same. Because every time I sit down and do a little bit of mixed media, I'm just playing and learning. I'm not trying to create artwork for somebody else and there. So I've got some of that creamy color over top of the orange. It adds a little more depth. I think I want to do a little bit more here too. Just a little bit more and a little bit more of that there, like that. There. Wow. I am so glad I decided to do this. This looks like an old plaster wall. It's just really cool, I think. I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. So let's get our birds on first. So the first one I'm going to work on is this bit of a sparrow here. And I want to put a little bit of a headdress on him because he doesn't have one. And I cut out some little leaves here, and I thought, because the other ones have their little bits, I thought maybe to do something like this. And the birds still don't pop off the page in any extreme way, but I just love the way that looks on there now. So I'm going to get a smaller brush to do this. And I'm going to start with adding some glue to the back of this leaf. And then I'm going to, how am I going to put them on here? I'm just going to put it on here in about the general area that I want my bird to sit. And then I'm going to put my bird on here like this. Kind of just like that, I think. So one bird. So this is definitely a piece by piece project. Now I've gone back into my book and I have brought out some little people, some little persons. And I have this little boy. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. He was a fairy, but I decided that I didn't want him to be a fairy. And that's simple enough because these are designed so that you can take their wings off. But I thought, so instead of just putting him over here, I thought I'd put him back just a little bit and set him in on top of these leaves that I put down. So maybe here like this. So now I just wanted to show you when I'm cutting these out, there's always this little bit that's between the legs, and I do like to cut that out. So what I do is that these boots are actually touching, and I'm just going to cut them apart, cut up between the legs, and cut this out here. And then I'm just going to go up this boot. Like that, and take that little white bit out of there. And now it doesn't have that. And I've done the same thing. Like there's a cut between these two boots on the bird because it's just easier to cut that, go up and cut that center out, and then just glue this back together again when you put it down on your paper. So I'm going to add my little people to my birds. I mean, my birds have to have friends, right? I do love that these books are made out of a good enough quality paper that you can put them down on your projects and they don't wrinkle right up. Like there's no wrinkles in the bird, just the bumps from the background texture that I've put down. I left her wings on, so she is a fairy. I didn't cut them off, and I could have just as easily cut them off. See how cloudy this is, but it will dry clear. And I've given the whole thing just a coat of clear gesso. This is the Art Basics by Finnabair. I absolutely love this one. I've also used in the past just this clear texture gesso from its premium gesso from Montmartre, whatever that says. Either one of those works just fine. I have used a lot in the past the Liquitex Clear Gesso Professional, but I have found that I like it more as a base to build things up from as opposed to a top coat because that one doesn't dry quite as clear. So I'm absolutely loving how these are turning out so far. I'm just going to let these air dry for a minute and then come back and put my finishing touches on. So these are looking very good. The gesso has dried, and what that gesso does is it gives this now a nice smooth finish. It doesn't feel like an old plaster finish anymore. It smooths it out. It makes sure all the edges are glued right down. It gives this a surface that can be worked on, but most importantly, it takes away all the shine. Like, there's just no shine on here anymore. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just loving them. Just loving them. So I want to do a couple of things to finish these off. I'm just going to grab, I'm going to do this blue. I've got this blue, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of black, just a little bit of black to it, because I want it to be a dark, dark blue. There, that's better. So I didn't want black, I didn't want blue, but this is a shadow color. So I just want to put I'm just going to put a nice little shadow at the bottom of both of those. Now, this is an Inktense pencil, so that means that this is going to dry permanent, so I don't have to worry about that coming off on anything. And I want to do the same thing here. See how I have a shadow there? But I want to do I want a little more black? There, the blue added into the black makes this more of an intense, like a gray color. And I think I'm going to do this a little darker too. There. And I don't think I'm going to do too much shading or coloring around them because I love that background. Absolutely love it. So I'm not going to do anything to screw that up. I'm going to take my brush pen, and this is a permanent ink as well. There, so just a little border around it. And I love the way that this has turned out. And I'm just going to use some of the Tim Holtz Big Chat, and I am going to put grateful. Put some liquid glue on this because there's no way that I'm going to trust that this will stay down. I like the black word or the black background with the white lettering on this card. I think it looks good on the fall theme. So that's one card. And I think I'm just going to put friend on here. Oops. And I have my 3 cards. So the first one says friend, and it has this cute bird and this cute little boy. And I just think that this background is perfect for these images. Just so, so pretty. I love how it looks. It just looks like it goes on and on. You can see multiple colors of paint in there, even though they're subtle. And then you see the words. Then you see bits from the napkin in behind. Just that little fleck of bark in there. It's so pretty. This one is just gorgeous. This bird and this little fairy girl just look like they were meant to be together. So I love this one. I also love this one. I love that she's just tiny and the bird is even bigger than she is. So there you go. That's my 3 cards. I really do hope you enjoyed them. The postcards are really easy to do. And now I've got 3 more cards. I don't care if there's a little bit of ink or paint or whatever that gets on the back side of them. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. These are hand done, so they're bound to get a little bit messy. So if you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite, friend, delightful, or grateful. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Until then, bye-bye for now, everyone. Have a really wonderful day.